Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Coming up this week, Disney files a patent for ride vehicles that can read your emotions. Nothing at all scary about that. DisneyQuest is closing for real this time. Planet Hollywood is finally open, and we're going to discuss whether Disney is getting ready to overhaul housekeeping at the resorts. All that coming up next. From the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida, this is the Diz Unplugged. This is the Diz Unplugged, episode 927 for the week of January 31st, 2017. The Diz Unplugged is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show, coming to you live from the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida. I'm your host, Pete Werner, joined at the table this week by my good friends John Magi.
Hi, everybody.
Kevin Close.
Hello.
Kathy Whirling.
Hi, everybody.
Julie Martin.
Hey, y'all.
And back in the production, our associate producer, Mr. Oliver Green.
Hello.
And our producer, Mr. Craig Williams.
Hello.
So, hope everyone is having a good week so far. I don't know about you, but I'm tired. It's been a busy couple of days. I've been running around a lot, and I'm not getting good sleep. So, I'm a little tired, maybe a little punchy, and things can come out of me sometimes when I'm punchy.
Those
So
always make the best shows, don't they?
They do. They do. For you. So let's just head over to housekeeping real quick. Want to remind everybody, we made the announcement last week about the Diz 20th anniversary, which is officially June 1st, although technically, I think the first time I put the site up, it was like May 28th, but we say June 1st because I couldn't remember exactly. But so June 1st it is, and we released the hotel block that we have. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, John?
We've got rooms at a large selection of resorts for the entire week, starting the weekend before to the weekend after the event. Not saying there'll be stuff all that time, but in case people wanted to add pre or post stays to their reservation, you can find all that on the Diz boards. There's a whole big thread I have up about the event and where I'm going to put updates constantly, but that's where you can find the link to go and get pricing for the room and then book it. This is group space. We got special pricing. We are not allowed to say what the pricing is. We're not even allowed to post what the pricing is. So you're going to go through a little calculator, put in your dates, put in how many people in your party, and then you'll get a price, and then you'll be able to give in a phone number and a group number to call to book the rooms. But that's what we have so far. We are working on all the other stuff as we speak.
And a lot of interest in this. I'm very surprised, honestly, by how many people are interested, how many reservations are coming in for these rooms. I will tell everybody that right now we are looking at May 29th through June 2nd, that week. That's a Monday through Friday, to be doing events all around Walt Disney World property, with, of course, the big event being June 1st to celebrate my baby turning 20. So it's going to be great. We're going to have a registration form up shortly. I don't know exactly when. So that's coming. But we want everybody to know the dates are set and the rooms are available. So you definitely want to be here for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do a lot of fun stuff that week. We had such a great time at the 10th anniversary for the show back in July. And I have a feeling this is going to be kicked up a notch.
I agree.
And we learned a lot from that. We learned a lot from doing that event, and we learned things that worked and didn't. And very excited. Of course, we're going to be doing a silent auction to raise money for Give Kids the World. So if there are some things you have that you'd like to donate, start thinking about that, because we'll be putting out a call shortly for people that have items that they might like to donate for a silent auction. And of course, all the money raised at a silent auction goes to Give Kids the World. We raised, just at the 10th anniversary, we raised over $70,000 for Give Kids the World from that. And I'm looking to far surpass that number this year. Teresa was here, I'd be looking at her too. So that's our 20th anniversary. Got to get back to my script here. Also want to remind everybody about the various shows that we put up throughout the week. Every Monday, DisUnplugged.com and YouTube.com/Dreams Unlimited Travel is the Dreams Unlimited Travel podcast with John Magi, Kevin Close, and Tracy Heinrichs. What do we have coming up this week, John?
This past week, yesterday, we released 17 Reasons to Visit Walt Disney World in 2017. And then this upcoming week, I haven't made a decision yet. I think we're going to do Harmony of the Seas. We had a chance to do a pre-inaugural sailing on the Harmony of the Seas, so that'll be the show we're going to release. So the producers are right now hearing for the first time what we're going to release next week. So now
Craig's like, oh, thank you.
You can hear them sweating.
Exactly.
Also, every Monday, DisUnplugged.com is the Disneyland edition of the Dis Unplugged with host Tom Bell and his team. And this week, Nancy Johnson will discuss her family's recent stay at the Great Wolf Lodge. This is a resort that was just recently opened, I believe, out in Anaheim. And it's, I think, isn't this the one with like the water park in it? And
There was talk, we talked about this a couple of years ago, that there was going to be one in Orlando.
yeah, it's kind of a big deal. People are very excited about it. So if you're interested, check out the Disneyland edition of the Dis Unplugged to hear what Nancy thought about Great Wolf Lodge out in Anaheim.
Have we heard anything else about the one in Orlando? I haven't heard anything in a while.
No. But sure we will at some point.
I got to think with Universal and Disney and everybody really upping their resorts and stuff that somebody bringing something that big in probably won't work. I think they're probably waiting to see.
Well, you know, they did Coco Key, which is kind of over on International Drive, which was kind of along the same lines with the big water park. But then again, you know, that hotel hasn't done, it's in an area of iDrive that isn't the best, and I don't know how well it's done.
Yeah, location will play a big role in it.
So,
Yeah, it looks like back in September they announced it would be coming sometime before 2020.
that's specific. From the people that brought you the closing of DisneyQuest.
Haven't we been talking about that since the show started?
Pretty much. All right, every Wednesday, DisUnplugged.com, the best and worst of Walt Disney World. This week, we are answering we've been getting so many requests for this for a while now. We're going to be covering the best and worst one-credit table service restaurants at Walt Disney World. So if you're on the Disney dining plan and you want to know what we think is the best and worst one-credit table service restaurants, this Wednesday, DisUnplugged.com, the best and worst of Walt Disney World, we will tell you what we think.
Tony's better be on that list.
It is. It is. It is the best restaurant.
Are you going to
It has
eat?
the best location.
Oh, I had some things to say about Tony's.
Are you going to eat at all the worst restaurants?
No, you are.
I've done that.
You're going to do the best, and you're going to do the
No,
worst.
I've already done that.
No, you know, that was the thing is that I've eaten, you know, at
we
all
have
the best
too,
and
right?
worst.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I can make a relatively, there is a couple I want to go back to though. There's a couple that I want to check out again, just in fairness, and see if anything's changed. But at some point you start
Is
feeling.
Coral Reef one point one?
No, it's a signature.
Okay.
So
I don't know why I'm talking like that. I'm sorry.
yeah, it's a big secret. Your feelings about Coral
Really?
Reef are a secret.
Always whisper the secret into the microphone.
Every Thursday, DisUnplugged.com live at 1 p.m. Eastern Time is the Universal edition of the Dis Unplugged with Craig Williams, Rhino Clavin, and Oliver Green. Craig, what is coming up this week?
This week, Rhino and I are going to be going in depth and talking about a celebration of Harry Potter that just happened this past weekend.
I can talk about the traffic jam and the blimp. That's what I saw.
The blimp was super exciting.
Which blimp?
Blimp
The
over
computer.
Over
Universal.
the Harry Potter for the.
Oh, yeah, I kept seeing it over here because it
Takes
Probo.
off from the airport.
it takes
right?
off from Executive Airport, which is not too far from here. And so I'm like, God, I'm seeing that blimp an awful lot. But yeah, everybody was like, oh, look, the Goodyear blimp. I'm like,
Finley wants to ride it. She asked me if she can
that'd
ride
be
it.
fun.
I said, I have no idea if they let people ride the blimp.
yeah, do they?
There's just a driver, right?
I
I think there's
guess.
extra seats in it. Some of them have extra seats.
I think it'd be kind of cool.
Are we having audio issues?
I think Kathy's just sat slightly further away from a mic than when we were testing it. That's all. So
No, I didn't
but-
move.
You're just so softly spoken. That's all. You've just
Now
got those
Kathy's
nice
talking
tones.
like
Nobody
that,
ever
don't.
says that about me.
Yeah, I think you need to upper levels there, Oliver.
Okay. We'll get on it. Talk to me, Kathy.
Hey, Oliver, how you doing? I don't know what else to say.
Right, there we
Sorry.
go.
Episode 937, mic check.
We normally do that. We did that before the show, but sometimes, it's live television, folks. What can I tell you? And of course, every Friday, DisUnplugged.com, Dispop with Rhino Clavin, and this week he's going to be talking about the new Beauty and the Beast trailer, as well as the new Marvel Avengers video game that they are making in conjunction with Square Enix, which I'm very excited about.
Me too.
I know. But making it with Square Enix means it's probably going to be something in the form of a role-playing game, which, Square Enix is the company that did Final Fantasy.
Oh, I thought that was a character.
No, honey.
The boring character, I'm Square Enix. I'm not exciting.
So, all right. Anything else for housekeeping?
Yeah, we also have Connecting with Walt, the final episode.
Oh,
this
right.
week.
That's right. We didn't do last week.
Yeah, because we talked about it last week, but Michael and I will have the final show for Connecting with Walt in January, this February, and it will be on Adventureland, looking at the history of our Adventureland.
The final? Like,
No. Just
the-
the final one
like-
for the quarter.
like
We
Walt
do them
dies?
I was just
as a
gonna say-
reminder to
I
everyone.
know, me too. I was like, oh God, it's over?
As a reminder to everyone, the Connecting with Walt series is done on a quarterly basis. So we do an episode every week for the month of January. Then it goes on hiatus, comes back in April, then in July, and then in September, correct? October.
Yeah, roughly.
ish.
Yes, yeah.
So, this will be the last one for the January season. And that sounds really interesting, the history of our Adventureland. I think.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good based on the one he did on Main Street. All the information he pulled together, Adventureland should be pretty awesome.
Awesome. All right, anything else for housekeeping? No one? It's going to be a short show. We have to drag these news stories out.
I think you have a fourth news story that I didn't know about.
Craig didn't send you that?
I emailed it.
Did you? I might have been en route.
Probably should have texted you too.
That's okay.
That's my bad.
All right. Does somebody have it?
Craig sent it to me.
Okay.
But I will start with my other ones. Our first news story. DisneyQuest announces closing date. Disney has announced that in order to make way for a new venue at Disney Springs called the NBA Experience, DisneyQuest will be closing for good on July 3rd, 2017. The NBA Experience at Walt Disney World will be a one-of-a-kind basketball-themed experience featuring hands-on activities that puts guests of all ages right in the middle of NBA game action. There will be immersive NBA video productions and numerous interactive experiences, as well as a restaurant and a retail store. Until July...
When I think restaurant, I think basketball.
I do too. Until July 3rd, DisneyQuest will continue to offer great interactive experiences for all guests.
Okay.
How about okay?
Disney fans of classic arcade game favorites and virtual worlds featured at the indoor theme park are invited to come out and enjoy the experience until it becomes about basketball.
Yeah, well, I need to go back. I haven't been in Disney Quest in years. I just want to go
You
in.
live in Disney Quest.
Huh?
Your house is Disney
My
Quest.
house is Disney Quest. Yes, it is. But I haven't been to the actual Disney Quest.
You need to set up one of those little prize rooms, like where if you have 15 coupons.
Yeah, where we bring our coupons in and we get erasers.
But they have been talking about closing this for. Yeah, I don't think you're being facetious when you say since our show started 10 years ago.
I'm not joking. We've been talking about the fact that this was a failing enterprise. I mean, we used to talk about, well, they're going to build one in Chicago.
Philadelphia, Chicago, there's a few other locations that they were supposed to build them and they didn't.
And then you could hear those thuds all around the country.
Yeah. So, but look, I know a lot of people, obviously the NBA is popular and stuff. It's of no interest to me at
yeah,
all.
I just can't.
I don't get, that they went through all this theming for Disney Springs. How does a basketball experience fit in with the theming of Disney
Well, when the
Springs?
founder in the 1800s
Digging in the spring, he found a basketball. Kathy, you have to keep up on the history of Disney.
Okay,
It's very
then.
disappointing.
there'll be a plaque somewhere.
Yeah, right. It explains. Isaiah
There
basketball.
were 8 foot tall millionaires
Right, exactly.
living in the Springs when it was founded. So this
And
is
their
an
wives
homage
had
to
a
them.
reality show. It was great. It's great.
I have to say, Ferris is obsessed with basketball.
Is he really?
He, at PE, any chance that they play basketball or that he gets free time during PE after they do their laps, that's what he wants to do. So I would be interested to see how he might enjoy it.
Yeah,
But-
I'm not
'cause
taking anything away
DisneyQuest
from it.
We've been several times with the kids over the course of their lives, and it's just okay.
Disney
It's
Quest's
really not
biggest
I
fault
don't
was
know.
they didn't keep up. They needed to keep improving and putting in better technology and putting in the most cutting edge stuff, and they didn't.
But it was just all the same stuff
Yeah.
all the time.
My favorite thing about it was that there was a cheesecake factory.
Yeah.
Have play a
closed
game and
ages
eat some
ago, yeah.
cheesecake.
Did.
Now, Craig, do you think, and this may have been discussed before and I missed it, do you think the closing of NBA City at Universal City Walk had something to do with the NBA experience coming to downtown Disney, or excuse me, Disney Springs?
Yes and no. I mean, obviously, I think they probably had a lease to use all the all the NBA stuff at Universal, and that probably ran up. And instead of renewing that option, they chose to go with an original concept with Twosome, which is a million light years better than anything.
Toothsome is
that,
awesome.
NBA could ever be. So that might have to do a little bit with it, but I mean, NBA just. I get that there is a huge following. I just don't see how this is still going to work again in Orlando because, well, first off, Orlando Magic games always suffer. They still are playing, they still are popular, but they're not huge. So I don't think this NBA experience will grab local crowds.
No, we didn't pay teachers and firemen and policemen what they should be paid, so that we could build a stadium for the Orlando Magic out of tourism dollars that never should have gone to that. But that's reviving an old rant. But I'm still bitter about that. To answer your question, Kevin, because I saw you say something, John. The NBA City was a restaurant in City Walk. And
I knew that.
When that closed, they opened the Toothsome Chocolate Factory.
Oh.
And it is a restaurant and candy shop. And
I haven't been there.
The chocolate from this place is spectacular. I have not eaten there yet, but from what I've heard from Craig and other people, the food is like superb. It's
good.
really, really good food.
I think my question with this is this a repeat experience for anybody but Ferris? Is this something that people are going to come to DisneyQuest and
NBA.
do and then think, oh, I can't wait to go back and do it again?
Other
I think we have to
question
wait to see what it is.
Well,
The other question is this
Oliver.
a paid event? Is this a paid venue where you're going to
Sure.
have to get in
Yeah.
just to get in the door? That's
Like
ridiculous.
DisneyQuest was.
Oliver, do British people know what the NBA is, or do they care about it?
No,
He speaks for all
All
of them.
British.
everyone. Yeah.
Oliver, are my levels okay?
Yes, you're fine.
Okay, because
Yep.
I sound very muted in the headphones. So
I'm wondering if it's your headphones because it sounds great.
everybody
through
else
here,
sounds great, so
yeah.
I don't know. Could be. I'm interested to see what they do with it. Obviously, we're not going to prejudge before it opens. Just on spec, NBA
Oh, I have.
for me
I was just going to say.
I've
is
prejudged.
not something that I'm particularly interested in. But I'll keep an open mind and try and take a look at it for what it is, not what I feel about it. So, all right.
All right, our second news story. Planet Hollywood is now open. Oh, my
Haven't
God.
we been talking about this since
We
the
have.
show started?
Yes, 10 years.
Well,
But-
no, from the time the show started, we were talking about how badly it needed to close because it was so awful. But
Planet-
this is also, we were waiting for this.
Planet Hollywood Observatory at Disney Springs officially opened its doors for business on Friday evening, January 27th, after their final inspection. The newly reimagined Night on the Town experience, along with the spectacular architecture, will transport you back in time with its turn-of-the-century inspired design. Once you've entered the restaurant, you'll be treated to various displays of unique Hollywood artifacts and a massive 4,500 square foot video wall featuring state-of-the-art sound and media.
That's where the money went instead of the food. So
There you go. The revamped menu is an exclusive selection of burgers and sandwiches conceived by celebrity chef Guy Fieri. In addition, there's an assortment of shareable starters, upscale choices like a New York strip steak, and the return of the world-famous chicken crunch. Additional highlights include the Stargazer's Bar, where there'll be live entertainment, and you can get a range of Florida craft brews. Upper bar, it's going to be where they have artisanal cocktails. There'll be music at night. There'll be a nightly DJ. And there'll be a new merchandise shop with featured movie-themed souvenirs. So there you go.
I've been hearing mixed reviews
Yeah, I have too.
from people that have been.
Nobody really raved about it, but a lot of people are like, they didn't do anything better than what they had before.
Nobody really raves about Guy Fieri's food.
I've been to Guy
I've been
Fieri's.
hearing that too. Yeah.
I've been to Guy Fieri. We've been to Guy Fieri's restaurant in New York City in the theater district. It was crap.
Yeah.
Expensive crap.
So why is this guy so popular then?
Craig loves him. Craig thinks he's.
I think he's absolutely ridiculous person. He's on, Diners, Drive-In, and Dives, and he's a very boisterous personality, so he's entertaining to watch. But when you're only going and reviewing these places, which are usually delicious but crap for you, I think that's going to have an impact into your cooking, and that's his problem, is that he's making this basic food that should be flavorful and, just great, but everyone walks away saying it's bland. And there's either too much happening or not enough. He's one of those Food Network people that you don't want to go to their restaurant. You'd rather just watch him as an entertainer.
He's also got some other things about him that I don't particularly care for, but that's another thing.
His spike tips, his
No.
backward sunglasses wearing.
That annoys me.
No, I know what they're talking about.
Say it.
He's pretty homophobic.
Yeah.
Is he really?
I did not know that.
No. Well, there's probably some skeletons in the closet. When they're that homophobic.
Have you seen his bleach blonde hair as well? Just
Yeah.
saying.
So the real question is, we all thought it was going to be different food, and it's burgers and chicken.
And Captain Crunch chicken fingers.
Yeah, exactly. So, do we really need that at Disney
Is that what
Springs?
that is? Captain Crunch chicken fingers?
Yeah, that's what they've always had.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what Planet.
Captain
That
Crunch,
was.
it's the ice cream you like, right?
Yeah.
But Planet Hollywood. That was always one of their
Yeah.
big things. Captain Crunch chicken tenders.
I didn't know that.
Sorry.
I need that.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think you do, but you're welcome to go and try it.
What are you saying?
No, I think you're going to taste it and go.
I
would
think you
much
should
rather-
exhale.
Stick to the bowl and the milk.
I would much rather go to Homecoming and get their chicken than.
And all their burgers and stuff, they're huge. I mean, if it's, for a guy that hasn't eaten in 2 days, maybe that's good, but, like
there's a bunch of them roaming around Disney Springs.
but I mean,
I know what you mean. The pictures, like, how do you get your mouth around something that's this tall?
because like deluxe burgers are good, but you almost want to cut them in half. What, you don't like those either? Oh, no. Oh, okay. But I mean, but these are like, they're too big. There's not like smaller portions of things.
Yeah. Where are the small plates for the small people?
Yeah.
This is a trend, I think, that's come and gone. This sort of Americana, the idea that Americans only want to eat giant food and greasy food. I think that's come and gone. I think we have a more refined palate. No, you only want to eat greasy food?
No, when I left the UK, that was still the stereotype. just to let you know.
Well, what I'm saying is that, the problem is that these restaurants are still feeding into that stereotype,
Yeah.
which they should.
I always feel bad about wasting the food because usually if I go to a place that serves a really large portion, I might bring it home, but I don't usually end up eating the
Right,
rest
it
of
always
it.
goes in the
It
garbage.
goes to waste, or Corey eats it.
Our joke is, you want to take this home and throw it away later?
Yeah.
That's exactly what we say every time we go
Yeah,
out.
that's what happens.
All right, so I guess no one's eaten there yet, huh? We haven't had a meal there yet?
No, not yet.
All right.
Actually, we are. We're eating there tomorrow.
I'm going to go to the NBA place and then eat there. That's going to be my day. Very exciting. All right, story number 3. Rumor, Walt Disney World's housekeeping is going to be reorganized. The latest rumor swirling around Walt Disney World is that the resort wants to reorganize the way housekeeping operates. When the Four Seasons Resort opened in 2014, it raised the level of service that guests are expecting on Disney property, especially at the deluxe resorts. Some guests believe that there has been a decline in the quality of housekeeping on Disney property in recent years. So if the rumors are true, Disney is making changes to fix that. In the near future, Disney is planning, quote, a large increase in the number of housekeeping cast members across the property, including the hiring of dozens of new managers across all of the hotels. This increase in staff will allow housekeeping to introduce the dispatch system that has been tested by the custodial staff in Tomorrowland. This system tracks the cast members by an iPhone and will send them to their next work location that needs to be cleaned. The system will help, quote, dispatch housekeepers to get rooms cleaned more efficiently for the day's arrival. In addition to reorganizing the housekeeping staff internally, reports are that Walt Disney World might be using a third-party company to help retrain the housekeeping cast members to teach them, quote, current industry standards and trends. Yeah, there you go.
I'm hoping they bring in Anthony Melchiori that does Hotel Impossible. Do you ever see him watch that show and when he goes in and talks to the housekeepers about how they're supposed to clean the rooms and do things? That's what Disney needs.
I'm going to be honest with you. To me, this really feels like they just don't have enough staff.
Yeah.
They had a
Well,
dispatch
that's part of
system.
what we're hearing is that they're going to add housekeepers and managers and
You're
go
going
to
to
this
give them each
dispatch
an
system.
iPhone.
Well, they used to have walkie-talkies, so this is just the next generation of that. You know, no one's using
It's
walkie-talkies
either that or
anymore,
plant the chip.
really. And that's how they know to do the next room. If someone says, okay, room such and such is vacated, go and clean that one next. That's a simple system to do. It's just a matter of, you know, not enough people to do it properly, which I think is a general theme of custodial at Disney. We went to Epcot, and I don't want to bring up a sore spot, but the bathrooms were disgusting. So this is just another addition of, you know, not enough people to do the job. I don't think it's a lack of training. People know how to clean, I think.
Well, I think that the one, because we had somebody explain to us how the system works over at Magic Kingdom, and it sort of puts more responsibility on the cast member that instead of just sort of, you know, I don't want to say they all slack, but they're all now responsible and they'll be called out if they don't go clean. So maybe that's what they need to do with the
Well,
housekeepers.
while we're talking about custodial in the parks, I want to share an experience I had in Epcot Thursday. Yeah. I was in the smoking area, one of the smoking areas in Future World. And as usual, now, if you go by any smoking area, you'll see there's a bouquet of cigarette butts that they never go by and clean it. And it's like, it looks like a day's worth of cigarette butts sitting there. It's really bad. It's a bad show. Never used to happen. They used to keep those things clean all the time. Now, anytime you walk past a smoking area, this is what you see. So I took a picture of it and I tweeted it to WDW Today, which is the official Twitter account for Walt Disney World. And all I put was #magical. That's all I said. Within a minute, they responded to my tweet. Please let us know where this is so we can send somebody over. I responded back, said, Future World in Epcot, outside the land. And within 15 minutes, a custodian was there to clean it. Now, to the people managing their Twitter account, good on you. That was awesome. To the people running Epcot, shame on you. Mm-hmm. I shouldn't have to do that.
No, that's not up
The
to you.
smoking area is not a secret to you. This is not something that's sprung up overnight that you weren't aware of. It's there. It needs to be cleaned, as does the rest of the park, apparently. And that I watched 3 custodians walk by that smoking area in that 15 minutes, doing other things, why one of them couldn't have swung in, but they had to dispatch somebody specifically to come clean it, which tells me it's just not made a priority. And you talk about the bathrooms. I've had that experience as well in Epcot.
We went to Epcot on Friday. We went to the Arts and
Festival of the
The
Arts.
Festival of the Arts. That's a whole different subject. But we watched people, apparently they're given one particular task. It's not make sure this area is clean. We watched people empty garbage bags. We watched people change out empty garbage bags for new garbage bags. And I think to myself, well, this is a poor use of your time.
Yeah.
Why is, oh, that one's empty, let me do this. It seems that if you're given a task, that's your task. It's not only wasteful, but it's a time wasting thing. And I think to myself, that could really use an overhaul. There has to be some sort of holistic approach to this, that you can't just be told you have to go do garbage.
Well, since it seems to be the only way to get things paid attention to is Twitter, I encourage everybody. If you see something that needs to be fixed, and I'm not saying this to be mean, but let's help. Let's help. We see something, take a picture of it, tweet it out at WDW Today. And I'll tell you, I give them high praise. They were very responsive. So there are people who care, and there are people who want to make it right. So let's help them out. And maybe doing that will focus Disney on, okay, there are things we need to fix. They need help in custodial. They need it in the resorts. They need it in the theme parks. I don't know where or when the idea hit somebody that cutting back on that was a good idea.
And I didn't
I'm sorry, go ahead.
even in the case of the restrooms, I didn't even see anybody close by, because I would have said to somebody, listen, someone needs to go in there and do something about this. There wasn't even somebody close by. So I think that's a good idea.
Some of those bathrooms are approaching Disneyland Paris. Disgusting.
It's gross, really gross.
Well, the other thing is, in this article, it said they're hiring dozens of new managers. But it's not usually the right
for
way
what,
to handle.
75,000
Well,
cast members?
we've heard for the resorts, new managers and additional cast members in housekeeping. So, like I said, there's a praise to be given to the folks managing the social media account for Walt Disney World, and there's some shame to be thrown over at the management at Epcot for not doing it in the first place. So
Should be your new thing. See something, tweet something.
yeah, that's a good line. See something, tweet it.
I think it stems from a bigger problem, too, of Disney honestly taking the best of the best who come in, whether for the college program or just any job in general, and pigeonholing them in one of the higher positions. If you think about it, when Tony Baxter started at Disneyland, he started as scooping ice cream. John Lasseter was a custodian at one point in time for Disneyland, and now look at him. Even though you look at a person, maybe should be working for guest relations, and that's where you really want to put them. Maybe sometimes you need to put some of these people in these areas, these go-getters, who will actually work to make things better. And I think that gets ignored.
There's a function of the job pool in Central Florida. Yeah. There's not as many people to pull from because of the theme parks and the cast that's needed. That's for sure. But I'm pretty sure you can find people.
Start paying them a living wage. You'll find you'll have more people than you can handle.
If you go up in price and you say, listen, you're going to get X number of dollars to be custodial, people will leave Walmart.
When you can work full time and still be below the poverty line, that's a problem. But that's a discussion for another day.
Right, that's all the news I have.
Well, we have another story that we spotted that I thought was interesting. So this is about a patent that Disney has filed that could personalize attractions based on your emotions.
I read this.
This is like a ride in mood ring.
The Walt Disney Company has filed a new patent on technology that is meant to customize a guest experience on an attraction based on their emotions or on a predetermined list of interests. The patent, entitled Sensing and Managing Vehicle Behavior Based on Occupant Awareness, would most likely be used on trackless vehicles that are controlled by Wi-Fi, RFID, or some other means. Using the proposed technology, the attractions would be able to read a rider's face and change the intensity of movement, change the scenery, or redirect their view to improve their experience. Using magic bands or some other way to identify guests, the technology could adjust the attraction based on their age or predisposition to motion sickness. The technology could also adjust the speed or length of the attraction based on the guest's upcoming dining or attraction reservations. So I'm guessing if you just finished having
Captain Crunch chicken.
And you go on Dinosaur's going to take 45 minutes to get through. I think was the joke you did on a daily.
No, I said I'm going to book a dining reservation for 5 minutes after I just get on Ellen's Energy Adventure and see how quickly it can make it around. So it's normally 40 minutes. So it's just
Fastest.
Those were dinosaurs. Did you enjoy them? Thanks. Bye.
Now, a lot of times Disney files patents that never get used. They just want to have the patent on technology that they're working on. This is intriguing, but it's also kind of scary.
Right.
Is there a little skeleton in the drawing back there? And a mushroom? Like, what is
Yes.
happening?
Yeah, imagine if you get on in a bad mood and all of a sudden, you're looking at cemeteries and, war victims.
Well, this is consistent with a technology that I know is being played around with right now. I've been reading about where, let's say, when you get stopped to to do a survey, and this is for like let's say for movies, a lot of people tend to say one thing to a survey response, but feel another way. So this technology would actually read facial expressions to tell what the person is actually feeling as they watch a movie or experience a product.
Don't you always tell those survey people whatever you think they want to hear to make this as short as possible?
No, I tell them exactly what I think. But maybe I'm unusual like that. I don't know.
I know what you're saying. You're saying like they'll do focus groups for movies or focus group for products, and they don't think they get the right answer because they think people are trying to be people pleasers.
Well, what happens is they do these focus groups, or they do these surveys, and they get answers that maybe are not honest, and they base millions of dollars of investment on that only to have it flop because people lied to them. So this technology has been developed. I want to say it was a couple of guys from MIT that did it. And now it's starting to be used, it's being put out in circulation for use in things like that. Disney is apparently borrowing on that to use it for this. So they're not filing a patent on the technology itself. They're filing a patent on the technology being used
in ride vehicles.
Yes,
for sure.
I mean, I want to go on the mushroom skeleton ride, please.
Yeah, what ride is that? Is that an Easter egg that there's an upcoming
Mushroom skeleton movie coming?
Mushroom Skeleton movie coming?
Grateful Dead ride.
Really?
The Grateful Dead ride.
Keep on trucking.
But so I think that's it's an interesting story. A little scary, but we said the same thing about Magic Bands. And now they are tracking our emotions and implanting us with chips and will follow us home. But all right, that'll do it for the news. Thank you, John.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Before we head over to Rapid Fire, I see the ginormous head of Rhino Clavin floating in front of me.
Speaking about emotional faces,
Seriously,
there we
the
go.
hair is not
Yeah.
Oh,
Every man in this company has facial hair.
Rhino and Steve are in Disney Springs. Along. Hi.
is this a new hire that I don't know about?
Yeah. Who is that?
They're making friends.
Is that somebody?
No, just a girl. She works here.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Rhino, you should tell her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
really. Don't break her heart.
So should Steve. Kidding, Steve. He's like, So what are you guys up to?
Well, we came to Disney Springs today because a lot's happening this week and just happened. The Planet Hollywood just opened on Friday, and we wanted to kind of see what that finally looked like on the inside. And so we snuck in. Yeah.
You snuck in?
Well, they weren't going to let you in unless you were
At a reservation.
Yeah. So we were like, well, can we just go sit at the bar and get an appetizer? So that's what we're going to do. Because we don't want to like full on dine without everybody else here.
So you haven't been there yet.
No, I'm inside right now. We're both inside right now.
You're inside Planet Hollywood.
Yeah, I'll turn it
Spin
around
the
so I can show you.
thing around.
Hold on, I'm going to pull this out of Steve's ear here so he can stay here.
It's a coin. I'm going to pull this coin out of Steve's ear.
ooh, show us the video. Yeah, look at that.
So that's the dome. That's like the... I don't know if something happens right here. See in the red? It's got like smoke coming off it or steam or something, but... so they still do the music videos up here like they used to, and then this is the dining room floor. It seems a lot smaller. There's a gift shop over there.
Is there like a go-go dancer that comes on that platform, that green platform in the middle?
Or Stitch.
Oh, God, I wish. One thing we noticed here is that some of it's not quite done. They're missing a couple props as you go up the stairs. Some of the cases are empty. Or there won't be like the movie like title.
Plaque.
Yeah,
The
the
name
plaque
plaque's missing.
will be missing, so you don't know what movie it's from. However, I do think there's a noticeable difference in the atmosphere in this, like that you get immediately. Like
It's
still
clean?
Planet Hollywood, but
It's what, Kevin?
It's clean.
Clean. Yeah, you.
is it clean? Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
it's just
you're getting
open,
blown
so,
out in the
I mean,
microphone for some
Who
reason.
knows how long it'll last? But
So is there just the one level of dining, like down
oh
on the
no,
main-
there's 3 still, so it's still
Okay.
got a. I'll take you on a walk. I'm gonna steal that back, Steve. Hold on, here we go.
Sound effect.
I'll go with you upstairs.
Should turn it around
Gross.
right
They're
now.
sharing earbuds.
Sorry, I had to make sure I was putting it in my ear.
They're
I wasn't
earwax
going to say
buddies.
it.
So you go up here. See the carpet's all different. It's all very like there's some props from like Beetlejuice. There's I don't know what that is. So there's like this. I'll show you right here. So I don't know what this is from because there's no plaque. But then there's like an empty little spot here, and then there's a level. We'll go up one more. Brittany. It's from Billy Madison. But it's like empty.
She gets Steve to just hang out in one of them little square things that are empty. Pretend he's a prop.
But I want to show you this. This is like
What is it?
Yes, please tell us
so
more.
it's the table has props inside of it.
Oh.
So this is all Star Trek stuff. See, like the Tribbles, and here's the original series crew from the movie.
Oh
and
my
then there's,
God.
Like the phaser,
Oh, I got to sit at that table.
and then there's from Deep Space Nine, that's Khan's outfit from the original episode he was on in the original series.
Really?
Yeah, and
Oh.
then there's like Independence Day, but then inside of this table is all Independence Day props.
That's cool.
And then
That's
if you go
very
over
cool.
Here's a Ghostbuster jumpsuit, and then you've got the license plate.
Oh.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
See, that'd be
sorry,
very
I
cool.
think I lost you
Now,
a little bit on the stairs.
Is the I guess the whole restaurant isn't like that. Not every table is themed. So just certain
No.
tables.
Not all of them. Like most of them are regular. I think that's just on the 3rd floor. But like downstairs on the 1st floor, from right here, it looks like they're supposed to be. Because if I look down on this wall down here, I'll point it out to you. See, like there's props there. Those tables look like they can have stuff inside of them, but they don't.
Okay.
So I think they were like, we just need to get it open. Like it looks good. It's not 100% there, but it's cool. So
All right.
go
Cool.
back.
All right. Well, go back and get yourself something to eat, and
Okay.
we will talk to you later.
All right.
Thanks for the tour.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. All right.
So are the props enough to get you in?
Well, I'm going tomorrow anyway. So, but I definitely want to see the Star Trek table. That got me very excited. Big Star Trek fan. Have been.
Maybe you can request to sit there.
That's what I'm going to do. Give me the Star Trek table.
I want to sit at the ordinary people table. Cheers.
The My Dinner with Andre table.
Just a puddle of cheers on the thing.
So, all right.
Or my
Let's
dinner with Andre.
My Dinner with Andre table. The My Dinner with Andre action figures.
That's right.
Did I show you that?
I did.
A friend of mine got me a Remains of the Day lunchbox for Christmas. You have to watch Waiting for Guffman to understand any of those things we just said. But with that said, let's move on to rapid fire. Now, John, you are rapid fire less,
am rapid
but
fire
I
less.
understand from Kevin that he has a big rapid fire, big enough for 2.
He does.
I do.
So go
and
ahead.
size
Kevin.
matters. We're going to have a new Diz trip. This is not an exclusive trip. It is not just us. On March 24th, 2018, we will be boarding the Viking Sky. It is a Viking ocean cruise as opposed to a Viking river cruise. It is going to travel from Rome around the tip of Italy and it will end in Venice, where you will overnight in Venice before disembarking the next day. The itinerary for this is Rome, Naples, Sicily, Crotone. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing these. Bari, Italy, Šibenik, Croatia, and then Venice. This is...
I'm very excited about Bari. Bari is where my family is from.
Oh,
That's cool.
So I'm very, very, very excited to see where my family came
It's
from.
called the Italian Sojourn, and you travel on the boot of Italy, so it's pretty cool.
It is a
excited about it.
8-day cruise, and we're very excited. And we have group space, so our group pricing is lower than what's actually on the website. We've been able to get a little bit of a discount for you.
Now, I think before you talk about the prices, I think it's important to mention to everyone that this pricing not only includes the stateroom, but it also includes your shore excursions.
It pretty much is all inclusive.
It's not like
Now-
other cruises.
Right. This is not a nickel and dime kind of thing. Now, in each port, there will be a shore excursion that's included. They will have alternate upgraded excursions if you wanted to do something else that will be available at an extra cost.
This is very much in the Viking Cruise Line model of cruising. It's supposed to be kind of like a guided tour combined with a boat. So you get your accommodations, you get your food. At dinner, your drinks are included, beer and wine are all you can drink. In the staterooms, depending on your level of stateroom, you'll have either a full mini bar of soda and water up to full alcohol will be put in your mini bar. And again, one shore excursion, each port is included, and there are other options as well.
Now, when we did the Viking River Cruise in 2015, we did the shore excursions every day, but we never paid to upgrade them. And we thought it was great. There was enough spaces. There was enough buses to take you to the shore excursion. They were sort of altered so they didn't all wind up in one place at the same time.
I apologize for interrupting you. On some of them, we opted not to do the shore excursion at all and just go into the town and
Right.
enjoy the town.
Right.
So you don't have to do the shore excursion. It's not something that's mandatory. It's completely up to you whether you want to do it or not. You can do something completely on your own. But the nice part is, again, it's included. It's part of the price. They bring in local guides, kind of like what Adventures by Disney does, so that you get a local flavor. In addition to people from the ship also go with you. So it's not like you're just cast out. You'll have the cruise director will be on a shore excursion with you and things like that, the hotel director.
And how was the food in Viking?
The food, other than one night
good.
when they served frog's legs,
Luke?
there are options every night. But one night they served frog's legs, and everybody at our table had frog's legs. There were a lot of napkins that went over the plate before anybody was finished. There's a tremendous amount of food, and the food on the one we were on was spectacular. Really, really, really good.
One of the things they pride themselves on, especially on the river cruise, is that when they're in port for the day, the chefs will go out and shop. So they will shop and source locally for that night's dinner. And then right before dinner is served, they do a big presentation of what dinner will be and what your choices are for that
Right,
night.
your menu's not preset. You don't find out until that
I
afternoon.
need to know where y'all were when you had the frog legs.
We were in
France.
France.
Someplace in
Okay,
France.
well, I figured, but
I don't
So
remember
what's
what
the
Rome
what's the
probably
pricing
was.
look like?
That's the other thing. The pricing is so good. It's like crazy.
The price for a single guest is the same price for two guests. Single people pay the same price as two people.
Which sucks, but
It's just part of the industry. Entry level pricing for two guests in our pricing, the Dreams Unlimited Travel group pricing, is under $5,000 for two people
Total. That's
Total.
total for two people. So it's $2,500 a person
for a 7-night cruise.
for a 7-night cruise in Italy that includes shore excursions.
And all the rooms on the ship are veranda staterooms. There's no inside staterooms.
They're
Everybody
also-
has a balcony.
They are also smaller than what you may be used to on Disney or
Right.
Royal Caribbean.
It's about 210 square feet, I believe.
however, once you get up into sort of the mid-range staterooms, when you compare Disney size to these size staterooms, these are bigger for less money. So you get up into something that's like a penthouse.
They have what they call a
suite.
penthouse veranda that is 375 square feet. And for two people, it is $6,500. So it gives you a little more space. It gives you a sitting area. In just a veranda stateroom, you're going to have a bed and a bathroom.
And, what I'm excited about are the pre-nights in Rome and the post-nights in Venice too.
Now, Viking does offer them, and they have not chosen a hotel in Rome yet. You can add the 2 pre-nights. They only offer pre-nights as a 2-night package. But in Venice, they're going to use the same hotel ABD uses, and in my opinion, that's a mistake.
That's the Hilton.
The Hilton Molina Stuckey, which is kind of far from where you're probably going to want to be, and it's on the other side of the canal. So every time you want to go sightseeing or shopping, or most restaurants, you're going to have to take a boat across the canal to get to where you want to go.
See, and I stayed in the Westin Europa Regina there, which was on the Grand Canal. It was spectacular.
That's about a block from
St. Mark's
St.
Mark Square. So
Now,
location.
what we're going to do is, I don't have this information yet, but John and I are going to work at it. We're going to try and source some rooms from either the Europa Regina or the Hotel Luna Baglioni, which is 100 steps from St. Mark's Square. I don't have pricing. I don't have an agreement from them. I haven't even called them yet, but that's our plan. So
Let's get the dates of this.
this is March the 24th through March 31st, and
2018.
2018. If you are interested, you would be flying into Rome, unless you have pre-plans on your own. And if you're going to go home right after the cruise, you're going to fly out of Venice. So it's into Fiumicino and out of Marco Polo Airport, Rome to Venice. We have some alternate ideas. I've been to Rome, and I don't know that I have any desire to go back and explore more. I find Rome kind of busy and chaotic. However, I could spend months in Florence. So I think at this point we're looking at going to Florence prior to the cruise, and then taking the train, because Rome is in the center of the country. It doesn't really have a port. You have to go out to the port that I can never pronounce. It's like Civitavecchia or
Yes,
something like
I
that.
think you almost got it right.
Yeah, you did.
So it's so there's going to be some transportation to the ship.
Not only the staterooms, the pricing goes up. The higher you are on the ship, the bigger your stateroom, but also the amenities. I mentioned things like what's in your stateroom, but there's also separate dining experiences. So the higher you up in a category, you could get some of those included. You can get
All of the dining reservations are included for people. The higher you go in the category, the more reservations you can make.
So you're actually guaranteed those specialty dining options. And then there's something else I was going to say. Oh, laundry is included, which we find very exciting.
As you go up in stateroom category.
Right, that's what I meant.
Laundry is not included at the lowest levels, but as you move up in stateroom category, laundry is included. And also,
Wow,
your
that's big.
embarkation time.
Right.
Embarkation is getting on.
Yes.
Right? Embarkation time. You get on the ship earlier, the higher your stateroom.
Your stateroom is
the
ready
earliest is
earlier.
11 o'clock. As you go to the less expensive staterooms, you get on a little bit later. So there are some perks besides the obvious perks of size and your minibar being refilled every day, you get laundry and you get to get on the ship earlier. It's more expensive.
So just want to point out, this is not a podcast cruise. This is not going to be a show on the ship or things like that. This is a group that we're doing in 2018. This is our trip to Europe that we're planning for sure. Kevin, I, and Pete are definitely going to be on that, and who knows who else. But we're excited. We've got quite a good group going already, so we want to make sure that we get it out there. And whoever wants to join us, we'll have a link in the show notes to our booking page. We put together a booking page with all the information, including the pricing, and an easy one-click to book the reservation.
If you're interested, you can write to Kevin at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. There is the top of the line suite is called the Owner Suite. If anybody's interested, I would love to book that for you. There's only one, and it's still available. However, it's $36,000
For two people.
for two people. However, it is 1,600 square feet.
Wow.
That is bigger than the house, almost twice as big as the house John and I used to live in.
I was going to say something. I forgot to say. Oh, I also want to point out, too, all of the staterooms on this cruise only accommodate two people.
Right.
So that's a limitation, obviously, for families, something to consider. But two people is the max for any stateroom category, even the big, huge owner suite. So
I actually think the timing of this cruise is a limitation on families also.
Yeah.
There was the reason we've chosen the March 24th departure. There are 4 departures of this ship. There's one in April, and there's one in May, and there's one in August. However, we decided amongst ourselves that we preferred to end the cruise in Venice as opposed to starting in Venice. And there are only 2 that end in Venice are the March and the August. And I've been in Europe in August, and it's hot. So this would make a nicer sightseeing thing.
Deposit is $500 per person. Do a time of booking, and then it's 90 days before the cruise is final payment.
So final payment is going to come up just before Christmas, 2017. But you can pay off early. They can offer airfare and things as such. So there's a lot of things we could offer. There's travel insurance if you need it. But I think this is very exciting.
I'm very excited about it.
I think if you're looking at some of the lower entry-level staterooms, I think for 7 nights traveling around the coast of Italy for $49.48 for 2 people.
That's great.
That's a lot. That's a good price.
Take a look at Mediterranean cruises.
Right. Or other tours. This is
Right.
a guided tour. There's going to be a shore excursion every day, so you're going to get to see these places. I think that's very exciting.
I'm excited.
I just got a photo of your frog legs.
All right. Thank you very much, Kevin. Kathy.
Disney has released a new MagicBand for Beauty and the Beast. There's a limited edition of 2,500, so if you want one, don't wait too long. It's $32.99, and like with every other special MagicBand, it does special things when you go up to the touch point.
Now, her image on this band, at least in your photo,
Yeah, that one.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's much better than
Have any
that
of you
doll.
seen the doll?
The doll is hideous.
Yes, the doll's terrible.
I mean, I don't understand.
No.
At first, when I was looking at it, I thought that was the Princess Leia wristband. And I thought,
it could
it
be.
kind of looks
Yeah,
like
it sorta
Princess
looks
Leia,
like-
but what are the cool things that happen?
Well, it'll make
Makes
certain sounds
sounds
and things like that, depending on what attraction you're at. That'll be Beauty and the Beast.
Tells you a tale as old as time.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think in this photo, it looks like she's starting to get the forehead like Kristen Wiig did in SNL when she played Junice and had the tiny hands.
Oh my
Nice
god.
forehead,
Leave
yeah.
her alone. Maybe she just has a larger forehead.
Okay.
I don't think anybody looks good on a magic band. The way it
No.
stretches out your head. I just think it's a function of the magic band.
All right. Thank you, Kathy. Julie.
Okay, so a brand new workshop has been added to the Festival of the Arts that is going to take place on Fridays at 8 a.m. in the World Showcase. So what? There's only 2 more of these? Yeah. It's painting with a Disney artist. So what you're going to get to do is have a rare opportunity to immerse yourself in a very special workshop. And even if you've never picked up a paintbrush, the Disney artist will guide you through the whole thing. So I think it's probably a pretty cool experience, in my opinion. It starts at 8 a.m., so that's a little early, in my opinion, to be
immersed.
Yeah, really.
immersed. Better come with coffee. It does come with a light continental breakfast. It's $259 per person plus tax, no matter how old you are. I don't see an age restriction on here. Admission to Epcot is not included, so you have to pay to get into Epcot and pay for this.
That's typical, though.
I'm right.
You know, you could just watch those old PBS shows where the guy taught you how to put a little tree here.
Okay, I do love Bob Ross. Don't make fun.
He is the best sleeping aid known to man.
So if you're interested, space is limited, and you have to call 407 WDW Tour, TOUR, to reserve your spot.
To get
So-
immersed.
All right.
To become immersed.
We did Festival of the Arts, so I believe any addition to Festival of the Arts is a good thing. I think anytime.
Our reaction to Festival of the Arts was, huh.
So that happened.
Because you guys had my same expectation.
I think if you did Festival of the Masters and you go to Festival of the Arts, people are disappointed by it.
Yes.
I think anyone who didn't
I'm
do
sorry,
Festival
this is
of
just Art of Disney artists. This is
I
not,
told you.
this is
See,
not,
now I was hearing that it wasn't enough Disney artists.
There's not enough. There's not enough artists, period.
but
Right.
it's the same ones in the Art of Disney.
Okay.
Now, there were artists working.
Which is
Not
cool
all
to
of them.
watch.
It was cool to watch, and there were places where you could talk to the artist, and I think that's a plus.
But you can also do that at Festival of the Masters. So.
Right. Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you, Julie. Oliver.
Hello. I have got some big news. Hold on to your hats. It's going to get Crazy. Good news and bad news from Blizzard Beach. Let's start off with the good news. Free towel rental at Blizzard Beach to those that have a valid MagicBand. So to get a valid MagicBand, or your MagicBand needs to be valid, you need to be staying in a Disney resort hotel. So that's the good news.
Whoa.
But if you're an annual pass holder,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of.
It didn't say
Stinky.
annual pass holders.
It did not say, you're right.
How dare they?
I know, terrible. And now for the bad news. Unfortunately, Runoff Rapids at Blizzard Beach is closed until further notice for scheduled maintenance. So
For
if
what?
you're scheduled.
scheduled.
Scheduled. I'm bilingual. Maintenance. So
Heard
if
that
you
about you.
don't listen to the rumours. So yeah, plan accordingly if you're coming down to Blizzard Beach.
awesome.
Do you
Thank-
get a Beauty and the Beast towel if you have the special magic hand?
Probably not.
She's got a bigger forehead on that one.
Thank you, Oliver. Craig.
Okay, so Cosmic Ray Starlight Cafe is undergoing renovations.
Say
No
so.
idea how long it'll take,
Fascinating.
but it's taking place in phases, and it might affect you on your vacation.
It's supposed to be done by spring.
Do we know what they're doing?
Gutting it?
Expansion, remodeling.
Giving Sonny a new hairdo?
No, Sonny will not be changed, nor should he ever be changed.
They're supposed to be doing more outside seating.
Yeah. So,
Oh, and the bathrooms. The bathrooms are closed there, so you have to go somewhere else.
Well, they weren't big enough anyway.
No, they were.
I
They
don't
were
blame
small.
John for not having a rapid fire now.
Anyway, see what happens.
Yeah, but that's how we end the show. Sunny Eclipse bathrooms.
Sounds about right.
All right. Well, thank you, Craig. That is going to do it for our show for this week. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back with you again next Tuesday with another edition of the Diz Unplugged. Thanks for being with us, everyone. And remember, stay out of the damn lakes. Have a great week.